What is going on, everybody, and welcome to bootcamp day. I don't even know because I'm recording all of this before I go to the beach, so bootcamp day, whatever day this is uploaded. But anyways, today we are going to be going over liquidity part 2. So if you guys did not watch liquidity part 1, I highly suggest you go and watch part 1 before you watch this video. That link is going to be down in the description. But if you're caught up with liquidity part 1, before we hop into this, as always, make sure you guys are doing your daily check-in. Comment down below letting me know that you're still rocking with me and that you're dedicated to make it the entire way through this boot camp. And while you're at it, also make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon so you do get notified every single time I upload a brand new boot camp video. But without further ado, let's hop into it. And also, if you haven't already, I highly suggest that you are following me on Instagram at Carhorns, CARWHORNS, the only verified account on there. I do post a lot of amazing content over there as well on the reels, as well as my story, answer some questions for you guys on the story. So if you guys do want to give me a follow on Instagram, that link is going to be down in the description. Alrighty, so hopping into it, liquidity part 2. Today we're going to be discussing exactly how we can identify trades using liquidity. So again, remember from last video, pretty much what I'm doing is looking at a 5-minute or a 15-minute time frame. I'm identifying areas where sell orders are going to be hit, as well as buy orders, buyers trying to buy into the market. So when we go through and we start marking these areas of liquidity, here's another one right here, right? What are we looking for? We are looking for bearish price action or bullish price action. So we just go ahead and delete all this and we look at this example right here. We have a high point made at around 1055. If there were people who tried to get short around this high, their stop loss is likely above this high. Now, as far as traders who are trying to trade the breakout above the previous high, where are their stop losses? More than likely on the opposite side. So as we see, price trades up. If anybody got short, where's their stop? Right above here. That got taken out. Any buyers who are trying to buy the breakout, where's their stop? Right down here. They're getting stopped out. We then can take that to our advantage and identify a low risk, high probability setup. So from there, we're looking at these candlesticks right here. Look at the wicks. Again, the wicks is always going to tell us a story. Are there buyers? If so, there's going to be long lower wicks. Are there sellers? If so, there's going to be long upper wicks. So as we see, price fails to break this high, grabs liquidity, stops out both sides of the market. As a result, setting up for a low risk, high probability trade to the downside. So your stop loss would have been above this high point right here. You can see price, if you were to get short on this candle right here, hardly broke above it. So yes, you always want to give yourself a little wiggle room. I typically give myself 20 to 30 cents of the opposite side. So as we can see on this candle right here, the high was around 55.03. So as a result, my stop would have been around 45.05 on this trade. That's why I like to give 20, 30 cents, which is about 2 to 3 points on ES. And as you can see, you would have never been stopped out and price ended up dropping to the downside. Let's look at an example over here. So as we see, we have really strong support over here. Buyers buying it up here. Bought it up here, bought it up here, here, and then a little later in the day, price just came down, broke below that low. If anybody had their stop losses too tight, they got stopped out in this trade. Anybody who tried to short the low a day break, what more than likely happened to them, they got stopped out as price started trading on the opposite side, and then from there, price made the move to the upside. So what are we looking for if we're looking for downside liquidity sweeps like this? We're looking for bullish price action and a bullish reclaim of the level. You can typically tell if it's going to be a liquidity sweep due to the volume. If we break below a level and we reclaim it with heavy volume, that is telling us that a lot of liquidity is entering the market. Again, stop losses being hit below here. Anybody who's trying to short is adding to the liquidity, and then they get stopped out as well, adding even more liquidity. So a lot more orders being filled in that general area. So a lot of volume right there, plus the reclaim, you could have went long with your stop loss 2 to 3 points right below this low. So that's another example. Let's just start scrolling back and let's just literally go super far back and see if we can find more examples. So let's just stop right here. Let's see if there are any liquidity sweeps. Let's see. One right here, bingo. So here's a good one. Actually, here's another good one. So there's two of them, right? So as we see, price ends up setting this low point right here towards the market open, 935. And as we see later in the day, price pulls down to that area, snipes the liquidity, makes the move back to the upside. Now here's a really good one. As we see, we have this nice high. Again, all I'm doing is simply just going to a 5-minute or a 15-minute chart and just marking highs and lows. So as we see a little later in the day in the overnight session, price trades up into this 5-minute liquidity zone, takes out any stop loss orders. Maybe people try to get long at that new high and then they end up getting stopped out. And as price starts trading below, you could have went short with a stop loss right above this high. And as you see in the entire overnight session, price dropped to the downside. Here's a really good example right here, actually, in the pre-market. So as we see right here, we have this solid overnight low right there. And as we get, it looks like we got news at that level. Price broke below it, reclaimed the or actually this is during the trading session, my bad. We have this nice low during the trading session. Later in the day, price comes down, takes out the stop loss orders below here. People are trying to get short, and as a result, where are they going to stop out? Right above this high. Price reclaims that side, stopping out anybody who tried to go short, gave a nice liquidity sweep, and price started to move to the upside, even came back and retested the level. So that's a really good example of a liquidity sweep. Let's head on over here and see if we can find any more. All right, so here's a nice one in the overnight session. So as we can see, we have this nice high point right here. Price trades up into the zone. Maybe somebody went short here. Maybe somebody went short here, or even as price is getting close to that area again. Where's their stop? Right above this high. You also have people who are going to try to long above that previous high day break. Again, both sides getting stopped out. Gave us an opportunity to go short, low risk, high reward. You could have gotten short at the end of this candle. Stop loss a couple points above this high. And as you can see, price made a nice drop to the downside. Again, that's in the overnight session, so nothing crazy happening over there. Let's head on over. Here's a nice little one right here. Previous high, price broke above, reclaimed, caught a nice little drop to the downside. And then let's take a look at, I don't know, 2-3 more examples. Same thing over here. During the market open, we had a solid low set in right here. Nice 2 bottom wicks. Price then bounces off of the area. A little later in the day, what do we see? Breaks below, reclaims the opposite side, again grabbing liquidity. Did it again right here, grabbing more liquidity. And then from there, you could have gotten long either at the end of this candle or this candle with a stop loss a few points below those lows. And then you can see price had a nice little rally to the upside from there. And then we will take a look at this last example right here. So again, as we can see, we have this nice high point right here. Price trades up into it, breaks it, couldn't hold it, grabs the liquidity, and then from there sets up a bearish candlestick. You could have gotten short with a stop loss a few points above this high, and it was able to make a nice drop to the downside later in the day. So that is pretty much what I'm going to be looking for at these liquidity zones. If price is able to break a previous high or low, either on the 5 or 15-minute time frame, and reclaim it either with bearish price action, bullish price action, and heavy volume, that is what sets up a high probability liquidity sweep trade for me. So if price is coming up to this previous high point right here and it fails to break above, I am looking for bearish price action to then confirm to go short. So a very long upper wick right here probably had news. Yeah, it was 8:30, so we definitely had news. But we can see that price failed to break above and hold above that high. That's set up for a liquidity sweep. A little later in the day, we had that same high point. Price trades up into the area, tries to break, grabs liquidity, very bearish price action, and then from there, what happens? Price moves to the downside. So if price is coming up towards liquidity, we are looking for bearish price action. If price is coming down towards liquidity, we are looking for bullish price action. So if price comes down to a liquidity spot, we are looking for price to break and reclaim with bullish price action and bullish volume, which as a result is going to set up for a high probability trade to the upside. But that is going to wrap up liquidity part 2. So if you guys did find a lot of value in this video, as always, make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night for another bootcamp video at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I got a very special one for you guys this weekend, so make sure you guys tune into those as well. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next bootcamp video.